Marvel Legends have been a hot commodity on the secondary market for a really long time, and unless you have an endless supply of cash to burn, it's really important that you stay up to date on the state of the market. Luckily, I got you covered today because I have a early 2021 stock report for you to help you with your collecting acquisition decisions. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Nerdzoic, your home for action figures, collecting, comic books, and the franchises that inspire them. If you want to make sure you're collecting smart, check out my free guide that I made, the 10 Commandments of Toy Collecting. Links in the description below. Whenever I talk about figure values, what's up, what's down, that kind of thing, there's always a segment of the audience that gets all butthurt about it. And they say things like, I'm not collecting for the value, I'm in it for the toys, or I just do this for fun, I don't care what it's worth. You're right, but you're more wrong, because it matters. Why does it matter? Well, do you like to waste money? So the way this video is structured is I have 4 figures that are on the rise, so the stock's up, if you will. I also have 4 where the stock is down. I'm also going to talk about what I think the driving forces are in each of these, and what I would do if I was looking to buy or sell these specific figures. All this information comes to us courtesy of Frank Perkins' website, Action Figure 411, which I'll put a link to down in the description. All right, so we're going to start off talking about figures that are on the rise. So these are hot. These are on the way up. These are figures you either want to sell now or buy if you think they're going to keep going up. So the first one I have for you is Iron Man Mark 85. So this is from the Fat Thor Build-A-Figure wave. This thing came out in the summer of 2019, and as you can see, it was pretty hot right out of the gate. It started off about $10 over retail. I never even saw this thing in stores. It stayed under $30 all the way through the beginning of the summer, but then in July, it just spiked like ungodly. It went from a $30 average up to $60 here around Christmas time. And as you can see by the graph, the trajectory is straight up. Everybody was waiting for an Endgame Tony Stark. This is theoretically the last movie he's going to be in, theoretically. And everybody wanted to get the figure of it. It also comes with a cool gauntlet hand that he used when he blew himself up in Endgame. It's also part of that Fat Thor Build-A-Figure wave, which was really popular because everybody wanted Dude Thor or Thor Lebowski or whatever we're going to call him. I kind of think this is just going to keep going up and eventually plateau. If you want to buy it, I'd actually buy it now, even at this high price. Maybe try to see if you can find it around the $50 mark and really watch carefully. I think a year or two from now, you're going to regret it if you don't get this guy. My Iron Man Mark 85 that's on the rise advice is to buy now. Next up, we have the Colossus and Juggernaut 2-pack. These are from the Marvel 80-year anniversary 2-pack line. I only saw this in stores a few times, but I mean, it's not like it was super rare. At one point earlier this year, I mean, like a few months ago, March, April, it was actually selling under the $60 manufacturer's retail price. Now though, forget about it. It just spiked up around September, or it started to spike August, September, as you can see here in the graph. And then November, it went up into the 80s, and it only came down a little bit back in December. So it came down to earth a little bit. I do think this is going to plateau here, and we're going to start seeing it end around the $75 mark, but you know, I'm wrong all the time. My Colossus Juggernaut 2-pack advice? Hold! Hey, if you're enjoying this video and getting some value out of it, I'd really appreciate it if you can give me the good old Hacksaw Jim Duggan thumbs up. Really helps so that YouTube promotes my channel more, so I'd really appreciate it. So would Hacksaw. Next up is a figure that I really want, and that is the 2019 Beast from the Caliban Build-A-Figure wave. This is the only Jim Lee Beast that has come out since Hasbro took over the line. Beast peaked early in 2020, it's like early summer-ish, around that $65 mark. Since then, he's come back down to earth and he's somewhere in the mid-50s. This one's tough because here's the deal. Next year marks the 30th anniversary of the X-Men 92 cartoon. My expectation is we're going to see some hoopla around it. Yeah, I just said hoopla. So I would not be shocked to see a re-release of this figure as well as some of the other Jim Lee X-Men, which means that the Cyclops, which is pretty expensive as well, is another one that you got to keep an eye on because I expect a re-release coming. Therefore, my advice on Beast is sell. My next pick for figures on the rise is one that has not gone up that much yet. That means there is still time to get in there before this sucker skyrockets. It's much of a speculation pick, and that is the Mohawk Storm from the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure line. This came out in 2018, and it's the only other Hasbro Storm that has the Mohawk, aside from the one from the Jubilee wave that came out in 2014 or 15. That one's selling for like stupid money. I believe it's over the $150 mark. Even loose, you're not going to find it for under $100, and if you do, count yourself lucky. Meanwhile, this version's going for around $30 tops. Take a look, it peaked out just over $30, but usually you can get it a little bit under $30. Since this came out, which it was 2018, I might have said 2019 earlier. Since this came out, though, we've seen numerous storms released, and they're all the Jim Lee storm, which kind of goes to my theory that they're ramping up for the 30th anniversary of the 92 cartoon. That means we might not see another Mohawk storm for a while, which also means that people are probably getting sick of paying the crazy price for the Jubilee Build-A-Figure storm. Ergo, this one's going to spike eventually, so if you need a Mohawk storm for your collection, now is the time to run and buy. Don't walk, run and buy. By the way, I put links to all of these in the description below for you. Time to go into the stock down report. So these are figures that are falling in value, price, however you want to look at it. You might want to run out and buy these figures now, as they're probably the cheapest they've ever been. You also might think that they're going to go lower, in which case you want to wait till they hit rock bottom. Either way, here they are. First off, we have the Stan Lee figure that came out just last year in 2019. This was one of the 80th anniversary figures, so it had that $25 price tag, but it was selling all the way into the summer at the couple of conventions, well, the one convention I went to, for $40 a piece, and the guy had a ton of them. This thing's dropped like a rock. When it first came out, it was in that $40 mark, and if you look at the graph, it's been on a steady decline for the most part ever since, and it's now bottomed out right around retail price. If you want Stan Lee, now marks a pretty good time. I don't see him going that much lower. I think the reason for this being so low is that the supply simply caught up with the demand. My advice on Stan Lee? Buy, buy, buy! Next up, we have Ant-Man from the 2018 vintage carded wave. There seems to be a demand for vintage carded Marvel Legends of all types. This one in particular has been all over the place. Check out the graph. Like, it's gone up and down and up and down. Right now, it's selling for a couple of dollars under retail. Every other figure in that wave, except of course for the Wasp, is selling decently over retail. So therefore, my theory here is that eventually it's going to catch up to the others. If you want this Ant-Man, now is the time to buy. Jump on it before it starts going up with the others. I don't think it's going to go up crazy, but hey, every dollar's a dollar towards another Marvel Legends. So this one really baffles me. It's the Symbiote from the Kingpin Build-A-Figure wave. This thing was up in the $50 to $60 range earlier this year and has since fallen all the way into the high 30s. Looking today for when I prepared for this video last week though, the December numbers are out and it's already jumped back up into the high 40s. So I kind of foresee him going up again. So you might want to get him while his stock is still down. So if you want to get this, I'm going to say go buy it now. But, hold on, I'm revising that as I think. The way we get Spider-Man figures so often, we'll probably see another version, an update, a repaint, something, sometime soon. So unless you're like diehard, my advice is to wait. But if you are really looking for it, now's the time to buy. So let's average it out. My official advice is hold. The next figure I want to talk about is the Groot Evolutions figure that was a Toys R Us exclusive. What the hell is going on with this? Did like a pile of these fall off the back of the truck somewhere? At the beginning of this year, you could not find this figure for less than $50. It even peaked in the mid-60s sometime early in 2020. But since then, it's been on like a drop. It's been on a steady decline and it continues to get lower and lower. I saw this on Amazon a few weeks ago for just $21. It's no longer that, it's up to $30, I think. But my point is, like, I feel like a whole bunch of these were discovered somewhere. Like a random discount store bought pallets of them when Walmart closed. I have no idea. But if you need a Groot for your Marvel Legends collection, like a movie Groot, this one comes with a couple others. Highly suggest you go run and pick him up now and buy, buy, buy. Thanks for watching. Till next time, be cool and stay nerdy.